Hey everybody, Adam here for another episode of Stellaris. So last episode, I tried to eke out a little bit more anchorage stations, but at a cost of increasing a hell of a lot of piracy. So I'm aiming to fix that pronto. I think just putting a new gun battery in there will help mitigate the piracy that we are having. Unfortunately, all the trade that we're getting from Aurelian at the moment is not coming through.
Starbase under assault.
And despite trying to reverse the damage is already done. We have pirates to deal with. So I'm going to send my fleet that was originally heading to the Amoeba Hunters and have them go deal with the pirates. And they're going to take a long time to get there, unfortunately. Interesting. These guys are becoming slowly more xenophilic. Doesn't mean I'm not going to rival them. I still am not happy about
Upscaling complete.
them cutting their trade with me.
Research actualized.
Do plan on saying screw those guys. Okay, let's get better lasers. Something tells me we're going to need them. I'm just checking to see if there's any better leaders for me to recruit. There does not seem to be. So now we have replaced the anchorage station with a gun battery, fixing the piracy problem, but we already have full-blown pirates, and they're cutting all the trade that would be reaching our home system, which is quite a lot of it, so not so cool. So I'm aiming to go fix that. I just bought one of the Erassian relics, so we have 5 out of 6. We just need one more, which is great. So last episode, as you guys probably remember, I pulled the first punch and took Seb from Lazovada, and hopefully I'm going to build up my navy this episode if I get the right research and opportunities in order to take them out, or really make them a vassal or subsidiary.
Incoming inquiry.
Whatever corporations call it. Basically, tributary.
Incoming inquiry.
Okay, a lot of people want a lot of things from me, and I get to say no a lot of the time.
Research actualized.
New contact of Honorbound Warriors. I don't know what I'm going to have in common with you, but welcome. Let's go and see if we need the habitability research. 70%, 75%. 100%. So habitability wouldn't be terrible. Naval capacity is what I'm going to do first because that really helps out our navy. No orders. Sabtrack doesn't actually have any need for a scientist at the moment, I don't think. Yeah, it's not currently producing any science, so we're going to send that researcher off to survey. My navy is closing in. And, okay, so we are now the host of the galactic market, which means we have a decreased market fee. As you can see, market nexus, which means... Yes, that if we are to trade on the market, like let's say for food, the market fee is usually 30%. It's less for us because we run the market. Next, I need to decide what next tradition to get. I think I'm going to get domination because I am likely to start dominating my neighbors, as they've all been not so sweet and kind to me, I guess is the nicest way to say it. And we just got the alien specimen procurement quest, which is pretty easy to do, providing we have physical access to the systems that the aliens are in. If we go ahead and track all on map, we can see them all. So we're going to have to go to war with the Colactora to gather them all. We can get most of them without.
Research actualized.
Droid workers would be great. Upgrading our robots a little bit. Star holes is what I really, really need. The research that I'm gaining, or the naval capacity that I'm getting here is nice, but starholds will help a lot more. Alright, so here's this little stupid pirate thing that I'm going to have to squish. Not so cool, guys. At least we gained a trait, and we raided their station. So let's go heal our fleet. And I'm not going to replace any of the corvettes that got destroyed. We will upgrade our fleet. Actually, before we upgrade our fleet, let's stop that. Let's make sure our fleet is using all of the modern tech that we have. I believe it is. Okay, now it is. Or will be. Okay, there we go. So now we can upgrade the fleet. Now I found that in this current patch, fleet upgrades take a very long time for large fleets. Sometimes it's better to just chop your fleet ups into smaller sizes. Seems kind of silly, but trust me, it makes a very big difference at times.
Potential market survey completed. Research actualized.
Researching better weapons. Plasma accelerators would be great. I think that's probably what I'm going to go next with. It's an upgraded version of what I'm currently using. This scientist here is a surveyor, so I'm going to have him skip these special projects
Detritus reprocessed
and have this guy go
galaxy.
back and get these special projects instead. Playing to everyone's strengths and weaknesses, but mostly strengths. So we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 and 7 is in the Collectora.
Ships
Okay.
upscaled.
Now we have an upscaled fleet. Let's repair them a little bit. And while we wait for the fleet capacity upgrade to take effect, we can go and smash up some amoebas in the meantime. We might as well. Checking in on our population. We can increase the research labs we have now. We have enough exotic gases to do it, but we don't need the jobs quite yet. In Sabtrack, however, we do need housing, so I'm going to get housing going. We just had research grants run up. Let's get that again. And I'm also going to get capacity overload. I don't suspect I'm going to need a whole lot of influence. We have a lot of influence because we have a lot of rivals and all that, so I'm going to use my influence to grow my wealth. One of the reasons I want to grow wealth is I would like to start having the scientists aid me in research so I can get even faster research. So I'm going to sell off some of my minerals and pay them to aid me in my research. And what that does is, as you can see right here, the research grants, or rather the curator insight gives me an extra 10%, which is nice. And then I also build up reputation with them, which will allow me to hire their researchers if I so wish
identified.
in the future. Okay, so we have Arcturus here that suffered some station losses. Let's go replace that. And then if we look at the piracy, we actually do have some piracy. So the max piracy in this system is 21, but we only protect up until 8 or 20. So the piracy will slowly climb up to the point where they can start pirating from our trade lanes. For me to stop that, all I would need to do is to send a fleet through there once in a while to squish that, or to increase the amount of gun batteries or whatever on Sabtrack Station, which is how I'm going to solve it. I'd like to create permanent solutions rather than temporary ones. I always call this Sabtrack, but it's really Sabtrack, which is awkward to say.
Upscaling complete.
As you can see, I am definitely hurting for food, but I'm just going to buy a big bulk of it now.
Special project actualized.
Try to put that off for a bit. As Sabtrock, or rather as Sabtrock grows into its own population, we'll have more farmers. If I look at the current workers, I can remove some clerks. There we go. And I filled all the farming jobs now. And we're now making enough food as a result. Oh, Dorfil now can upgrade from the ship shelter to actually a planetary administration, which is a huge gain. Our fleet is down here. They were looking for amoeba hunters. Not really finding any at the moment. So I'm going to return home.
Upscaling complete.
So we have our surveyor just surveying, hoping to find things that benefit us. And we just increased our naval capacity, so I'll be using that pretty soon here. Let's get some additional starbase capacity. No, maybe amenities. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to go with starbase capacity now and hope that the amenities gets offered soon. So with this additional capacity, I can get this fleet at least up to 20. And we will build those now. And then I can have a second fleet that goes up to... so this is at 30, and the second fleet that goes up to 20. And if I stack those fleets together, they should be able to squish the Levada. So what I'm going to do is wait until... wait until I'm a little bit stronger, and then I can demand that they become a subsidiary of me. One of the ways to do that, one of the ways to change relative power, if we look back here, fleet power, economic power, and technological power, or level, are all ways to measure it. So if I build my fleet up, or expand my economy, or tech up a little bit more, I make them more inferior to me.
Upscaling complete.
So I need to just flex a little bit harder in their face, so to speak. Okay, we are running low on jobs here. Huh, so the clerks are supposed to be creating amenities.
Market survey completed.
Yeah, we're using a lot of amenities. That's all that it is. So maybe another commercial zone would be good. I have my surveyor automatically surveying. I don't really care what he does or where he goes. Just as long as he doesn't get destroyed.
Research actualized.
Okay, so we did get star holds just now. We can either get Elgate research. I think I'm going to do minerals from miners, because it was a relatively cheap one. And then the first star hold I'm going to want to upgrade is the Sabtrock one. So I'm going to buy some alloys to do it, because that will cut all of the piracy. Dorfil is actually getting pirated in Arcturus? Yes, in Arcturus. And I don't like that. That's no good. Oh, I upgraded Vrinn. Both works. Actually, no, I'm going to switch and really do Sabtrock. And then also my fleet is about to travel through Arcturus, so you'll see how a fleet suppresses piracy.
Research actualized.
So with my fleet currently stationed in Mana Kadir, the current piracy dropped. So what I can do is actually have them patrol, at least as a stopgap measure, until the space station's done, and have them jump between Arcturus
Upscaling
and
complete.
Monacadir, and it will destroy any piracy that they have. All right, that's probably enough. I can go home and save some money. Recharge, maybe energy credits from technicians wouldn't be that bad. Now, with my population growing as it is, I am using up more and more consumer goods.
Special project actualized.
Which is something I have to accommodate for. I can either make civilian goods here. Yeah, I'll do that here on my home planet for now. Ooh, the Zaxoids insulted me. Who are they? They are way over here. Cool. Well, I have all the rivals I need. I don't need more. Buying some additional alloys so we can fill this fleet out to its fullest. That will be the last 2 ships we need for the fleet. And then the fleet is going to be more or less ready. Ready to rumble.
Upscaling complete. Upscaling complete.
Alright, so here is the fleet. This fleet has made this neighbor inferior. So now I can offer subsidiary status, and they're going to reject it. And then, as a result, I can just say, you know what, I'm going to make you a subsidiary anyway. But before I do that, I'm making sure they don't have any allies, and they don't.
We wish only to protect our consumer
Alright,
base.
so let's go make this guy a subsidiary. Ideally, I would have had my fleet stage at Seb, ready to invade, but that's alright. I don't mind a little walk there. And then to back up my navy, I'm going to make just a little bit more army, just to make sure that I have the numbers it takes to beat them down. Now, I must say, normally you don't...
Potential market survey completed.
Well, I guess you can play your...
Special project actualized.
your Civ, your empire, however you want, but being a really aggressive corporation is kind of strange. I like it, though. Alright, so we've got our navy
Research
coming in
actualized.
to Dur. Their navy just showed up at Seb. It's half the strength of mine. And probably lower tech, considering my tech level's higher, so no issue there. I could jump to cruisers, but I think I'm going to go with engineering research from researchers
Competitors
first.
detected.
I don't really have weapons that cruisers... I don't have great weapon researched
Upscaling
yet.
complete.
So it'd be better if I...
Competitors detected.
it'd be better if I had really good ships in order to benefit from better weapons. Okay, so Navy, let's go engage them. Let's go squish them, actually. Especially now we have Gale Force, or Gale Speed. Look at them run. Oh, and I engaged them before they got out. Alright, they got absolutely squished. I didn't lose a single ship. They
Future
lost
market
most
survey
of theirs.
complete. Research actualized.
We will go repair and then push towards their stuff. Admin cap would be a brilliant thing to research, even though it takes a little bit longer because we are a little bit over our cap, not by much, but as our planets grow, we'll be pushing past the cap continually. So that would be a wise thing. Wise thing to do. So currently I'm winning this war. Now this is a war of submission to make them a subsidiary, which means my war goals are a lot loftier than before. So they're going to be a lot slower to accept defeat, in other words.
Upscaling complete. Competitive
all right, so now if I look at
engaged.
Sabtrock, I have 33 protection, and the maximum amount of piracy that can be generated is 24, so I won't have piracy. That's because I expanded my my anti-pirate network. And we're making quick work of the systems between ours and their first planet that we can invade. And invading planets is a very good way to ramp up your war score really, really quickly. So if we look here, some of the trade value is lost because of Chore's Compass. So another thing I'm going to do is crank out maybe 4 corvettes to sit there. And I'll have as many corvettes as I think it needs. Maybe I'll start with 1 and see how many it requires. So we just defeated their space station here without losing any of our ships, which is great. They have an army of 250 defending. I have an army of 228 attacking. I can pummel them a little bit more. But given that I have the superior economy as well, I might... Yeah, let me recruit 2 more armies each. I might as well really have an invasion force that can swiftly deal with them. Let's get some more physics research. I like to stay ahead of the research curve if you can't tell already. And we'll just put a Navy dude in charge of this. Yes, we'll have to pay a little bit of energy credits to have him, but that's okay. So we are currently researching new worlds. I do have a new world scientist to recruit, so temporarily we can use him. Now this guy is the wrong type of scientist, so I'm gonna replace him. Sorry. With a maniacal one. Maybe just fire him altogether. The specialists that specialize in one type of science, I tend not to like because it's very rare that they're benefiting you in any way other than their own level cap.
Upscaling complete.
So I'm merging my armies together, so I have a bigger army ready to invade. I can also think about a healthcare campaign I'd like. Yeah. And I'm going to do the visualization for a little bit of extra research and consumer good usage and all that stuff. All right, so we have a bunch of armies coming to reinforce. Their armies on the planet are getting pummeled slowly, but not that
Potential
quick.
market survey completed.
Although this war is definitely going to be one-sided. I have no doubt about that. I also have to find a potential L-gate, preferably in a territory of an enemy's, but if I have to go to war with these guys to get their Meku L-gate, I will. Alright, well, while they're rendezvousing, I'm tempted to repair my fleet. The damage I've done to the planet won't revert that quickly if I go repair the fleet, but I'm more worried about the enemy's fleet coming in and trying again to mess with me, so it doesn't take very long to repair that. All right, let's look at the trade now. We're actually losing more to piracy. We need how much piracy suppression did it say? We need at least 28 piracy suppression. So this little ship produces 10. As I said, I'm going to do 3 more corvettes up to 40. So we have a little bit of growth room there. Looking at the planets, we're running somewhat out of jobs there. But we're okay for now. Sabtrock is running out of jobs as well, but we can always add more agricultural ones. I'll do that now. We're running out of housing here, but I will add generator district. And then in our home place, we're fine. We have some housing, some jobs. Nothing that urgent. So I'm having these other older or newer corvettes rejoin. I think the last of our army is just about... Yep, it just merged. So let's land invade. So the way this works is...
Upscaling complete.
It basically lines up their forces with my forces, sort of like old school attacks. When my forces run out of either morale or health, they will
Planetary market secured.
attempt to disengage, and we just kept it. Time to head to their capital.
Upscaling complete.
What just happened? All those little districts I made just got built, I guess. Alright, looking at this Navy fight.
Potential market survey completed.
Not that hard.
Research actualized.
We took out their fleet, and we took out their starbase. And now we can pummel their planet. I have enough money to extend my research deal with the researchers, so let's do that. I finished research, and let's get this research, which helps add more minerals to planets that produce them. Their armies here, they're not teeny, they're not insignificant. I'm going to want to pummel them a little bit. There's also this mega structure, a matter decompressor here that I can repair once I have the tech later on, which is pretty cool. That produces mass amounts of minerals for me.
Complete.
That'd be pretty cool. So looking at our trade, 94% of it is making through now. We need that one last ship to rendezvous, and then we'll be all set. All the door-filled trade will be protected. If you look at the current piracy, it's going down. Okay, so now we're making 100%. We have enough of a fleet there, enough of a presence there to get rid of it. Actually, we really only need 2 ships. So let me pare this down to 2, because I don't love to have excess overhead. And the reason I can tell that is the max amount of piracy is 10.23, and these 2 ships will suppress 20 piracy. So as long as they're parked there, we won't have any pirates. And that's a pretty small price to pay. It is an upkeep of about a half an alloy and 2 2/3 energy. And the benefit we get from Doorfill is 40.9 trade value, which obviously easily pays for itself, which is great. Okay, so now we have been pummeling this little planet here. I'm going to go try to invade it, even though my numbers aren't that superior to theirs.
Attempting to acquire planetary market.
I will take some losses to my army, but that's... I hate to say it. Armies are really cheap to replace. As you can see, in 6 months I'll have basically a whole new army.
Research actualized.
And I outnumbered them, so it looks like it's going well. More research. Let's do sensors. So some of the disengaged ones will survive.
Planetary
Some
market
get
secured.
killed anyway. But there we go. Another system captured. And I'm going to focus on their populated systems because invading planets is the fastest way to build war score, or one of the fastest ways. If they have a huge fleet that you can destroy, that's another pretty fast way. But Space battles. So if we look, space battles and occupation are
Future
the
market
measures that are
survey
really
complete.
pushing me forward here. Usually when you're asking them to become subservient to you, you have to go above and beyond. You basically have to destroy them very, very thoroughly. Like capturing everything. Alright, I need to make sure that I have the most amount of farmers I can. Sabtrock is our agricultural hub. I might need another one, given how much food these guys are consuming. I'm gonna have it be at Dram here, because I'd like Dorfil to be mostly mining and generators. Just a preference. Not a real good reason to back up why, just a preference. So now we can clear... Oh, perfect. We can clear some population blockers. So we'll go queue that up. Our beautiful fleet has been done with this place for a while now. We just need to invade it.
Upscaling complete.
They have almost no army protecting it, so that's pretty swell. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have all of the incoming army follow our navy and have the army land and the navy go repair.
Commencing seizure
And
of planetary
I just
asset.
realized that's about all the time I have for this episode. So I'm going to have to get you all to tune in next time if it interests you. If you like this series, let me know. It's probably my least popular currently, but as long as it gets some love from you guys, I'll continue trucking along on it. We're about half done with the Lozavata Empire domination. And hopefully next episode we get to finish that off. And I hope you tune in next time. Adios, everybody.